Hey guys, what is up? We're back with another week of our favorite manga series, Katekyo Hitman REBORN, and we are at the lucky number 123 or 123, right? And the title of the chapter is called Tsuna's Decision. Now, if we go back to chapter 122, basically the way it ended was after finding out what Zanzus really did to the knight, got him into the Golomoska, and we know how the Golomoska functions by using the dying will, aka a person's life source, and putting his own father into this machine to fight the battle. And when Tsuna cut down the Golomoska, he did it in a way to make Tsuna look like the villain of the entire battle, like as if he didn't know what was going on, right? And so this shocks everyone, more so particularly Tsuna and Reborn. And remember, Reborn was originally hired by the Knight to become the tutor for Tsuna, who was to become the future Vongola boss when he reaches of age. So to see this whole ordeal happening, it's very shocking. Not only that, they talked about the cradle incident that happened 8 years prior, currently in the storyline, where originally Zanzus formed a coup d'etat to go against his father, and then that caused him to go into some type of sleep, right? And now, because of his rage and anger towards his father, he just started to do all of this. Once he awoken, he did all of this to his father, okay? And so he even got the Cervello in on this. So now they have it where now Tsuna, by the end of chapter 122, basically made a stand saying that no, we're not going to allow you, Zanzus, to take over the Knight's place, aka becoming the next boss. I'm not going to allow it. So he basically decided to declare, in simpler terms, war against Zanzus for his wrongdoings. So we have it where Zanzus thinking that, all the cards are in his hand, everything is formulating in the way that he wants to. He's saying that, this whole situation is going to be carved into the history of Vongola books, and how that Tsuna, who is nothing more than a runt, is trying to defy him, the man, the soon-to-be next 10th generation boss, Zanzus. But we have now where on Tsuna's side, everybody's just like, oh, he's not alone. And then we have just one funny panel of Hibari's like, no, I'm following by my own will, because Hibari is a cloud. It drifts off, it's by itself until acts otherwise to come joining to the fray. So everybody's going at each other. They're like, this is my will, this is the will of the boss. Who are you to talk? Mind your manners, mind your place, who you're talking to and everything. And then we have where Zanzus is just like, enough with this talking, let's go exterminate. But then the Cervello intervenes and interjects, and is about to explain about how this whole ordeal is going to happen. So technically this fight, truly the fight between the Rings of the Cloud, was actually the last fight. But now the Cervello are saying no, tomorrow night is going to be the final fight, and it's going to be the battle of the Sky Ring. Okay, who is rightfully and justifiably the actual heir, the successor to the Vongola, despite everything that has happened, knowing that Zanzus is the one that put his own father in the Golomoska. They're like, we're gonna have one more fight. And the reason for that is, we come to find out, is that Zanzus somehow, some way, forced his father to forge a letter stating that there is going to be another battle, okay? And then on top of that, like a stamp of approval, he got the dying will flame stamped onto the letter. So that's why the Cervello are following by the instructions left by the Knight. How we had Zanzus force his father to sign such a letter, eventually they do explain that. And knowing that is happening, we even have where, like, bro, I was reading the panel, and then, like, everybody's hearing this, and Gokudera is very reactive. He's like, yo, what are you talking about, you Zanzus, the female dog word? And I'm like, yo, Goku there reckless with his mount, bro. He's really reckless. But as they're saying is, they're showing everyone the proof of the letter. And they're basically saying that we have the official decree of the Night Boss himself. Any changing of hands of the rings will not be approved without our ratification. So in other words, it is the final say, regardless of what happened prior, regardless of if he did it out of his own will or not. They have his handwriting in person. So they're going by what was written, decreed by the knight unless stated otherwise. So one more battle, and that will be the Sky Ring battle. So next battle is, like I said before in last video, it's going to be Tsuna versus Zanzi's, which I think a lot of us were ready for. A lot of us were preparing for, because it just wouldn't be a conclusion to the entire arc if we didn't see the main villain of the arc face against our main MC. Okay, so knowing that all of this is going to happen the next night, and you know, after the whole ordeal with just like them preparing, the warrior coming in, causing trouble and all that stuff, and knowing what has happened to the knight, what happened in Italy, finding out about the past of Zanzi's and everything, we have it where, you know, Tsuna is just overthinking all of this. Reborn is saying this is good because, you know, Tsuna's tired from all the training that he's been undergoing for the past week and all of that stuff. But, you can tell that, like, this is getting to Tsuna. Of course, before the warrior was able to leave, Zanzi's threw the half sky ring to Tsuna, to catch, because, you know, he's very overconfident right now. He's feeling like, I'm going to win this whole ordeal, and then after this is done, I'll just take you and your people out, okay? Because you're nothing more than a threat to me. So he and the rest of the warrior vanish in a glow of light, and now Tsuna's just standing there reflecting on everything that just took place. And of course, we have it where the Cavalon family, aka Dino, Big Bro Dino, comes in, and he and his men are helping with the damages. They're getting the knight medical assistance and everything. He's even asking Reborn, like, what do you think is going to happen? But he has faith that Tsuna is going to be able to handle the entire situation. What's funny enough in this chapter is, I know a lot of people, when it comes to Hibari, a lot of people, like, you know, all Hibari wants to do is just run smoke with people. He just wants to throw hands with a lot of people. Once he comes into contact with them, we have it where, like, Yamamoto's asking, you know, after the whole ordeal between him and Zanzi's and the dirty tactics Zanzi's used against Hibari, Yamamoto's asking Hibari, hey, are you okay? Are you good? You know how Yamamoto is. Even asking him, like, you know, it's very unusual that you are restrained. You're not going off to go fight someone. This is not going to be the first time you see how Hibari responds to Tsuna's actions and, you know, just being in this position. Because to everybody in Hibari's peripheral vision and how he views everyone is a herbivore to him, while he's the carnivore, right? Hence why he says, I'll bite you to death. But what he says here, right, and how he understands people, he's able to read people and read the mood, read what's going on, the whole entire situation and everything. He's like, if this situation can draw out the herbivore's true strength, I won't interfere just yet. Then it pans into the panel with like a shadow over Tsuna's face. Again, he's just taking in everything that just happened. Overall, all the events up until this moment, because he still has one more fight, and that's to deal with the boss of the Varia. So in this scenario, I would say that Hibari, as callous as he can be, in a way he does respect people, and yes, he does view people for their strength and everything, but he knows, so when it comes to certain situations like this, especially when it comes to Tsuna, and to see like how he goes about dealing with certain situations, he respects where he has to just stand back unless he is actually needed. Hence why he fits into the Cloud Guardian position, right? So now we have it where it comes the next day. He's going to school for the first time in a week. All right. So while they're arriving at the school and everything, mind you, when they're at home, Suna's mom makes the comment saying that Tsuna is resembling more and more of his father, not so much as his looks, but by his character, how he's moving. Okay, so that tells you his dad is the type of guy that, like, despite how goofy he is, he does have his very serious moments, how he views life and everything. And so Tsuna's probably taking on those characteristics. Now, if he was to tell that in front of his face, he'd be like, no, I'm nothing like that bum of a father. But either way, he's at the school. And when you really think about, like, Tsuna currently right now in chapter 123 versus chapter 1, the beginning of the series, how Tsuna acts here is quite different. If anything, he seems more calm. Yes, he does have his moments where he's like squeamish and everything, but when he goes to the school, he sees obviously classmates or people that know Tsuna is no good Tsuna or Dame Tsuna, and they're trying to, like, you know, make fun of him. It's like, hey, you've been living the good life not being here, you're playing hooky and all that stuff, and Tsuna's just like, I gotta go, I don't want to deal with this, and then he runs off, and they're like, oh, what's up with this kid? Usually Tsuna would have been scared, very scared, and he doesn't want to deal with them, but how he reacted to them was more like, oh, you guys, you know, haha, very funny, but yeah, I need to just go. So he goes to the school rooftop, and like, he's just really reflecting more so also on the ninth. And when the ninth put his finger to his forehead to make him remember of memories from last chapter, from when he was very young, stating like the knight was trying to tell him a message before, you know, he collapsed and everything and is out of commission. Not necessarily dead, because he's getting help from Dino's side of the family. But then we have where Kyoko is now on the roof. She comes up to the roof stating that, you know, Reborn told her that he's going to be up there and that Tsuna may have a long face or something like that. And Tsuna's just like, did he really say all those things? Then she presents him with a fortune, how you say, a fortune card, right? A good luck charm, right? Because she still has the presumption that her older brother Ryoe is telling him, oh, everything that has happened, all these fights, it's actually a sumo match. Even though she came there and saw him fighting with Lasari, and it was far from a sumo match, but, you know, the Lulu, it's the Sululu, okay? So she still believes that the fights that everyone is going through is a sumo match, and she's running with that rhetoric from her own brother, so she has a lot of faith in her brother. If her brother said that the sky is green, she's going to run with it, okay? And we have this moment where Tsuna, which is, again, Tsuna, compare him to chapter 1 Tsuna, right? And currently right now you see obviously the character evolution of Tsuna. Not too grand, but it's there. Usually the way he would talk to Kyoko is he wouldn't be able to speak to her. Okay, he will be mumbling and blushing a lot, but here he's like, after he gets the good luck charm from her, how he speaks to her like how he would speak to his friends, right? And he's like, you know, with this, I'm going to win tomorrow's match, and then we can all go back to how everything was before. And this kind of, in a way, kind of like enamors Kyoko. She's like, oh. She kind of blushes because she did not expect that from Tsuna, because how Tsuna responds to her is in a very calm, again, prior to now, Tsuna would have been like, he can't talk to her, he's like very shy, and then he's trying to back away from him because he can't like fathom just being in the girl that he likes present. So now to see a completely different Tsuna who's talking to her very normally, kind of like in a very cool like manner, has her go, well, she's stuttering, okay, and then she's like, you know, actually, we gave everybody else charms, and who helped her with the good luck charms was both Haru, the kids, and Bianchi, who all managed to sneak into the school. Bianchi made everyone's school uniform, okay, even though Bianchi chronologically is 17, So she's high school age, despite being an assassin and everything. She's a high schooler. If she was actually going to school, she managed to sneak everybody into the school, and they're all just encouraging Tsuna, just telling him good luck and everything, and just like trying to cheer him up, and he's laughing with everyone. And we have where Reborn is just overhearing everything, because he's also on the rooftop, and he's like, this is exactly what you're fighting for, Tsuna, to go back to this. And I want to tell you guys, when I read that, anyone that says about Katekyo Hitman Reborn, you know, and I really don't want to spoil anything for you, but this chapter exemplifies what Tsuna, who Tsuna truly is, okay? Tsuna, since the first chapter, never wanted to become a mafia boss. This was a life that was thrown on him out of the blue, out of nowhere. But it's things like this, him being by his friend's side, him being by his family's side, laughing, having fun, despite the tragedies, despite the horrors of the mafia life and everything. At the end of the day, Tsuna wants to be able to go back and just be with the people he cares about most. The reason why he's doing all of this fighting, is to go back to moments like we see by the end of chapter 123, right? Even Reborn states, this is the whole reason why you're fighting. This is the whole reason as to why you have to make a stand, to go back to moments like this. And you're going to see this very moment multiple times throughout the remaining of the series. And I think that's just the core of what Katekyo Hitman Reborn is. This is the core of who Tsunayoshi Sawada truly is. He's not some mafia person. He's not looking to obtain that life. That's not his goal. That is not his dream. His dreams is simply this: to be with friends and family and enjoying life, right? To have that daily life. So guys, you tell me on how you felt about chapter 123 of Katekyo Hitman Reborn. What do you think is going to happen next chapter, now that it's going to be the final fight of the scramble battle, half ring battle, and it's going to be Tsuna versus Zanzis. Overall, do you want to know, like, what do you think is going to happen to the 9th? What's going to happen, going further explaining about like Zanzis' past? And overall, do you think this is just like a reoccurring theme for, like, you know, Tsuna just achieving simple happiness and everything? Just tell me your thoughts down below. Of course, if you read or watched the anime of this series before, no spoilers for everyone else. The links are in the description box. You guys go check that out. And I'm Kim John of Anime Legends, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. With